Hello, I'm Neil, a cloud support engineer here at the AWS office in Northern Virginia. Today I'm going to show you how to set up an SSL connection between Hive and an Amazon Relational Database service, MySQL database. Let's get started. Type a command similar to the following to create an Amazon RDS MySQL database instance. Replace RDS username and RDS password with your username and password. Connect to an Amazon RDS MySQL database instance as the primary user, then create a user for the Hive metastore as shown in the following example. Create a JSON configuration file similar to the following. Replace Hive user and Hive user password with the values that you used to create the Hive metastore user in the previous example. Replace the endpoint in the JDBC URL with the endpoint for your RDS database instance. You will use this file to launch the Amazon EMR cluster in the next step. The file enables an SSL connection to the RDS database instance. In the security group that's associated with the Amazon RDS MySQL instance, create an inbound rule with the following parameters. For type, choose MySQL Aurora. For protocol, TCP is selected by default. For port range, 3306 is selected by default. For source, enter the group ID of the EMR managed security group that's associated with the EMR leader node. Type the create cluster command to launch an EMR cluster using the JSON file from step 3, along with the bootstrap action that downloads the SSL certificate to home Hadoop on the EMR leader node. Connect to the EMR leader node using SSH. Open a Hive session on the EMR leader node, then create a table. It can be any table. This is for testing purposes only. Connect to the RDS MySQL metastore using the MySQL client on the EMR leader node. Then verify the table metadata in the metastore. If the metadata corresponds to the table that you created in your previous step, then the SSL connection is working. To set up SSL on a running EMR cluster, connect to an EMR leader node using SSH and type the following command to download the SSL certificate to home Hadoop on the leader node. In the etc hive conf directory, add or edit the following lines in the hivesite.xml file. This enables an SSL connection to the RDS database instance. In the following example, replace the endpoint in the JDBC URL with the endpoint of your RDS database instance. Type a command similar to the following to test the SSL connection. Restart Hive Server 2 and Hive Edge Catalog server on the EMR leader node. Now open a Hive session on the EMR leader node, then create a table. It can be any table. This is for testing purposes only. We'll use the same example as before. Connect to the RDS MySQL metastore using the MySQL client on the primary node. Then verify the table metadata in the metastore. If the metadata corresponds to the table that you created in the previous step, then the SSL connection is working. So now you know how to set up an SSL connection between Hive and an RDS MySQL database while provisioning an EMR cluster and on a running EMR cluster. Thanks for watching and happy cloud computing from all of us here at AWS.